By the end of the video, you'll be able to take your iPhone from this to something way cooler like this, or even this. So follow me as I show you the ultimate way to customize your iPhone. Okay, so let's kick things off with the basics and build up from there. So we're going to start with 3 awesome wallpaper styles that you just gotta check out. So for the first style, you're actually going to head to the App Store and download this app into Live. Once you open it up, if you tap on Live Wallpaper and then pick a fun, colorful video that's really fast like this one, and it is important that it's fast. Then tap on Done, hit the download icon, and voila, you've created a live photo. And now what you can do is hop into the Photos app, select that live photo, and if you hit the share button right over here, you can select use as wallpaper, then just resize it, click on done, and bam, you've just created a live wallpaper. That looks really cool. You can choose to keep that as your home screen wallpaper, but personally I like to change it up and use similar colors. So by now you should have a home screen wallpaper and lock screen wallpaper all set up and ready to go. I mean, look how cool these came out. If you want to try this out yourself, I will have them linked down below to these 4 free options. For the second wallpaper style, back inside your photos, if you grab a pic of a friend or a pet, then click the share icon and scroll down again to select use as wallpaper. Right over here on these 3 dots, you'll notice this depth effect, which kind of gives your wallpaper this 3D feeling and puts your subject on top of the clock. And you can take it even further by swiping through all the different filters and choosing something like my personal fave, color backdrop, where you can choose whatever you want. And when you unlock your phone, it brings the subject forward and just looks really cool. And before we move on, one more wallpaper style you gotta know about is if you have an image that's really contrasty like this moon one, and choose to set this one as your wallpaper, you get this subtle animation which makes unlocking your iPhone just a bit more fun. And this trick works with all kinds of images like patterns, robots, landscapes, you name it. It's a small detail, but it can make a pretty big difference. But we are just getting started. Okay, so now it's time to start adding our favorite apps, which we can now finally put anywhere on the home screen. So once you've placed all your apps and made all your app folders, if you tap and hold down, then select edit, you can now tap on customize. And the first thing you gotta do is tap on tinted icons and then choose what color it is you'd like your icons to be. A little trick to finding the perfect color is if you tap that color picker icon, you can pick something directly from your wallpaper to get the exact match. But if you don't find anything you like, just tap on tinted again and it'll choose what it thinks is the best color. You might also notice overall it's darkened your wallpaper, but if you tap this little sun icon, it'll bring it back to life again. So much better. You can also choose to have large app icons without any names. Personally, I prefer the large icons, but at least you get the option. And as you can see, this is slowly starting to tie things together and our theme is coming along nicely. Here are a few more other home screen designs to get you guys inspired, like if you're looking for something mystical, badass, maybe cute, or even just simple. And a quick extra tip in case you didn't know, if you tap and hold down on a native app, you'll see this option require Face ID that if you select it will lock that specific app. So now if you want to get into that app, you can use Face ID or just put your passcode in. And if you do this with a downloaded app, you get the option to even hide it and require Face ID. And what that does is once you've hidden an app, it places it in the app library folder right at the bottom here. And once you tap it, it'll reveal that hidden app. So far, your iPhone should be looking much better, but we can improve on it even more. So let's move on to widgets now, because this is going to make a huge difference to your home screen design. Just like with customizing, if you tap and hold down, then select edit and choose to add a widget, if you scroll down, you'll see this photos option. And in here, you get 2 more options, featured or album. I suggest you go with album because once you've added this, if you tap on edit widget, you can then choose exactly what album it is you'd like to display. And so bam, just with the photos widget, you can have something slick like this. But we can take it a bit further, specifically with the clock widget, where you can actually see the seconds counting down around the edge. And what I also like to do is head down to the calendar widget, scroll through the options and choose this one, then place it on top of the time to have a neat and tidy stacked widget. You can stack up to 10 different widgets together, but my personal favorite combo is to use the photo widget with motivational quotes for the perfect daily pick-me-up. But to tie everything together, let me show you a couple more widgets you can get from the App Store. So first is this one called Outside, and it's a countdown widget. I can't believe we don't have those in Apple, but you can use this to keep track of any special days you're looking forward to, like the new iPhone 17 coming out in 245 days. And another amazing widget is this one called World Clock, which, as you can imagine, displays different time zones that you select from around the world, which is super useful, especially if you travel a lot. So now that your home screen is looking slick, let's move on to the lock screen. Alright, onto the lock screen. If you just tap and hold down onto it and tap Customize, in here there's a bunch of stuff we can change. Starting with the clock, if you tap on it, there's 6 main different fonts to choose from. And if you tap this world icon, you can completely change the format if you want to. Once you've picked a style, you can then go ahead and change its thickness. And of course, the same with the color. You can go ahead and pick from these preset options, or if you head in here and tap the color picker, again, you can choose an exact color from your wallpaper to get the perfect match. Or if you don't like any of those options, Apple were nice enough to give us this multicolored one, which actually looks really good. Next, let's download a really cool lock screen widget called AnyText, which you can download from the App Store. It's so simple. Once you open it up, you can type in any text you want, like motivational quote. Then on the lock screen, tap on any widget and add what you just created. It's so simple, but it just makes such a nice difference to the lock screen. Moving on to the corner shortcuts, and with iOS 18, you can now choose from a bunch of different options, like recognize music, which is a personal fave and I use a lot. But what I really like and suggest you guys do is select this open app shortcuts, where you can choose from any app installed on your phone and have that straight on your lock screen. Then one more thing you got to do inside your settings under display and brightness. If you have this, go into always on, make sure this is turned on, but then also make sure to show wallpaper. That way you can always see your epic design even when your phone is locked. And bam, this is looking freaking sick, and your design should look like it's almost done, but there's still more we can customize. Okay, so the control center has had a big upgrade, and now everything in here is completely customizable. And how you set this up can make a big difference in how you control your phone. So if you tap and hold down, you can select an icon and move it anywhere in the control panel, and even choose from 3 different size options. So whether you want a page of small control icons, maybe you want list icons, or even a page of large controls, you can. Or, of course, you can mix and match the sizes to create the perfect control center. But there are a few must-know tricks to take your setup to the next level. So if you tap on the plus icon and add a new control, then tap in the search box and type in Open App. Just like the lock screen shortcuts, this works in the exact same way, and you can choose any application you've got installed on your phone and add that to your control center. I went with ChatGPT, but if you wanted to, you could add a couple more applications in there. That way, when you're browsing your phone, you can quick and easily change between apps just by using the control center. Now that is useful. So your home screen, your lock screen, and control panel should now be done. And that leaves us with 3 more things left to do. Okay, so in the App Store, search for something called Lock Launcher. Once you've downloaded it and opened it up, head straight into Settings, then tap on Live Activities and turn this on. Straight away, you'll notice your dynamic island now displays the date. But before I show you more of that, go back into Settings and toggle on Show on Lock Screen. Okay, so now you'll notice the dynamic island has been completely upgraded, but we can customize it even more. So back inside settings under live activities, if you tap on right display, you can choose to show any one of these options like current weather, for example. And if you go into the favorite sections, you can now add whatever app it is you'd like. So I added a couple more of my most used apps, and once that's done, your dynamic island should start looking like this with the date on the left, the temperature on the right, and if you hold down, you can instantly jump into any one of your favorite applications. Oh, and plus, on the lock screen, your iPhone will display those shortcuts as well. Nice. And for a little bit of extra fun, there's another app you gotta try out called Pixel Pals. How this works is as soon as you open the app, you'll instantly notice this little Pixel Pal on top of the dynamic island that basically just lives there. It's like having a little Tamagotchi which you can feed and even play and throw balls for. It's super fun. So your design is almost done, but there's still one more thing we can do. So usually after a long day, when you put your iPhone down to charge, standby mode turns on. But if it doesn't, don't stress, because all you gotta do is hop into settings, find standby and toggle it on right over there. And believe it or not, but you can customize standby mode as well. So once you're in standby mode, if you swipe left or right, you go through the various clock options like the photo or digital clock. And if you swipe up or down, you have a bunch more hidden styles to pick from. So once you've landed on your favorite one, if you tap and hold down, then click the circle icon, you can choose your own custom color and choose one that perfectly suits your aesthetic. Each style does have different colors, but here's another little trick. If you're in the digital clock style and go all the way to the right, you'll see this multicolored option that you can choose as well. And with the widget clock, a lot of people don't know if you tap and hold down, you can choose from any one of these widgets, or you can add your own. Just click the plus icon, then you can scroll through all your different widgets and literally choose whichever one you want, like the world clock, for example. And once you're done, it also seems to match the color of your app icons, which is so cool. So really, depending on your theme and style, you can even customize the heck out of your bedside clock and get the perfect look and aesthetic. Oh, and one last trick, if you want to check the time, just tap the table and voila! So now, if you followed every single step, your iPhone should be looking super fresh and you've officially got the ultimate iPhone setup. All that's left to do is hit that sub button because we're on the road to 3 million, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Toodles!